Hi, and welcome to Ukulele 2, the online course. Today we're going to review the transposing key that we talked about in a previous video, and we're going to be talking about transposing a song from one key to another key, as well as give you a basic understanding on how to do this process of transposing keys so that you can play in different keys. Okay, so at this time, go ahead and go get your transposing key. There's a list of keys on there. You'll see at the top. So go ahead and pause the tutorial at this time. Locate your transposing key, bring it on out, and then we'll start in a few seconds. Okay, so on your transposing key, you see a whole bunch of keys listed. So all the way down here are your different keys. A lot of the songs that we've played already have been in the key of C. Okay, and in the next few lessons and the videos coming up, we're going to be concentrating on these two keys, F and G. Okay, so what I did was I wrote on the board, I wrote a key of C at the very top, and I left out the other keys, and then I wrote in the key of F and the key of G. This is C over here. I also wrote in the B flat sign there because we're going to need that B flat because of the 4 chord that we're going to be using. So kind of follow along. Once again, we're focusing on the F and the G. So at the top of your transposing key, you see Roman numerals at the top. Over here is standing for different chords in the key, and I didn't list it, but underneath them should be a major, minor, minor, major, dominant, 7, etc. It's on your chart, but I didn't write up here just to leave less things to concentrate on. Okay, so we're focusing on it, F and G over here, F and G. We're going to be transposing, utilizing these two keys. Right off the bat, coming up real soon is the song Home on the Range, which is in the key of G, and we're going to transpose that to the key of F. And if you look on the chart, everything's kind of in a column of related to each other in the fact, like for instance, the 1 chord is the first chord of the key. So first of all, most of the songs that we played in Ukulele 1 and our music was in the key of C, and a lot of them consisted of the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5/7 chord, or the 5 chords, so C, F, and G. C, F, and G. So when I say C, F, and G, those chords sound very, very familiar to you because you've played them a lot in the previous course. Okay. Now in the lessons coming up, we're going to be focusing on the key of G. Okay, and the 1, the 4, and the 5 are G, C, D. G, C, D. Now these chords sound a little more, not as familiar, but these sound familiar because the 1, 4, and 5 are the strongest chords in your keys when you're playing a song. Keep in mind, if you want to get more information about transposing in theory, you're going to have to go on to the supplement in the back of your syllabus. But this is a basic introduction to understand the basics for getting started on transposing. So the object for this lesson is to transpose from the key of G to the key of F. Okay, so when you are moving on to the next video, we're going to be working with Home on the Range. The keys are corresponding to the next key. For instance, if we're in the key of G and we want to play the song in the key of F, whenever you see a G chord, you look up here for the key of F, you're going to play an F. Okay? So once again, it's in the key of G and we're transposing. So every time we see a G in the music, we're going to play an F. Every time we see a C chord in the song, we're going to play B flat in the key of F. Every time we see a D chord or a D7, we're going to play a C7. So what we do here, we got to do to the other chord. Kind of like math. What we do over here, we got to do over here. Okay? Now, these lines, I wrote all these lines that shows that they correspond. We're not going to pay attention to all these other lines. We're only going to pay attention to the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord. Okay? So that's what we want to focus on. 1, 4, and 5. You're going to see some other chords in there, but the transposing key is going to help you get started. And let's see here. So you are just corresponding the letter to the next letter above it, to the key of F. Okay? And then when you are comfortable with this, just fairly comfortable, so you got a basic understanding, go ahead and move to the next lesson. This is just to get you started. When you actually move on to the video where we actually do the transposing of the song from the key of G to the key of F. So we'll see you at the next lesson.